But our top story this Friday, a new scramble by the White House to get young people signed up for Obamacare. Hope you're off to a great day, everybody. I'm Jenna Lee.
It's the weekend. That's a good thing. I'm John Scott. We are less than 2 months from a crucial enrollment deadline. And the administration is embracing a grassroots strategy that helped register voters during the Obama presidential campaigns. Armies of volunteers fanning out across the country to track down and enroll young, healthy Americans. The demographic crucial to keeping Obamacare costs down, but so far the White House is lagging far behind its enrollment goals, even though the president's been pushing his case to 20-somethings for months.
If you're a student body president, set up a conference on campus. If you work at a nonprofit, open your doors and use your email list to help people learn the facts. If you've got a radio show, spread the word on air. If you're a bartender, have a happy hour. And also probably get health insurance, because a lot of bartenders don't have it. Post something on your Facebook or Instagram. You can tweet using the hashtag #GetCovered. Let me just make a broader point to all the young people here. This whole exercise obviously has huge implications for this country's future. Because if we can start bringing down health care costs, make sure people are covered, give people financial security, that's good for the economy, it's good for businesses, it's good for the federal budget.
Let's get into it with Monica Crowley, an author and Fox News contributor. Basil Smikle is a Democratic political consultant. You just heard the president, Basil, say that this whole exercise has huge implications for the country's future. Right. If that's the case, why are we leaving it to an army of volunteers to fan out across the country and beg people to sign up?
Well, look, if anybody can do great targeting, it's the Obama administration.
Well, they have proved that.
And the reality, listen, I understand this. The concern here is that if you want a little more time, if you're really close to making a decision but need a little more time to crunch the numbers, this extension is actually going to be helpful. My one concern is that for a lot of young people, we see this in education all the time, when they're making decisions about financial aid, things that require a lot of money and some significant life experiences, they're not going to make that decision right away. So my fear is that that crucial component, that crucial constituency that they need, pushing the deadline will actually just make the decision a lot harder for them to make. And that's my concern.
If Obamacare were so great, as this administration constantly tells us it is, it should be selling itself. And instead, this administration has already spent tens of millions of dollars, and they continue to do this, on this huge PR push, especially directed at the young and healthies, the so-called invincibles, that they need to uphold the whole thing. So we have seen Pajama Boy, we have seen the frat brothers at a in Colorado. We saw the mom jeans ad. We had Richard Simmons writhing on the floor, all trying to appeal to the young kids. And as Basil says, look, most people are economically rational. Obamacare is inherently economically irrational. And these kids, when they have limited resources, they're not going to go buy health insurance. And without them, the whole thing collapses.
You spend a lot of time on the radio, Monica. Are you going to be doing what the president says and urging people to sign up?
I am talking about Obamacare, but not in the way he intends, I think. Look, he is so desperate. This administration is so desperate because the numbers that we're seeing, and Lord knows how accurate they are coming out of this administration. But what they show, at least so far, is that only about 11% of those signing up for Obamacare were previously uninsured, meaning that the bulk of people actually signing up have had their policies canceled. So this is a giant churn operation. They were previously insured. Now they have to go into the exchanges and get insurance. What we also see, and these numbers are dicey, John, is the projection was that they needed about 40% of the signups to be the young and healthies. Only about 25 to 28% actually are part of that group.
Well, and there have been efforts to sort of enlist mom to get their right. people to sign up. Right. So, it just seems kind of ironic that, taking Monica's point, shouldn't the bill sell itself if this law is a great thing?
The bill should sell itself, and that's and what's interesting about that is I don't think that they're desperate. But what I will say speaking to some of the things the president said, the one group that he did not mention, and I think this is a crucial group, are doctors. There are Democratic and Republican doctors that have concerns about this bill, but they're hopeful. That's a group that he actually really does need to recruit, because those are the folks that could really sell it to their patients. There are some real concerns about the finances, real concerns about what those young people are facing, particularly economically. But I think there's also this crucial demographic in doctors that they're not touching. I am confident, though, that over time this is going to be sold to young people, because as more young people sign up, their friends are going to hear about it, and they're going to encourage them to do the same thing.
I have a few doctors, but my orthopedic surgeon, the guy who's put me back together after all my skiing accidents, told me he's not taking Medicare patients anymore because, partly as a result of Obamacare, they have cut the Medicare reimbursement so much he simply can't afford to do it.
It's definitely a huge concern, but I do think there are a lot of doctors that want to see this bill work, and that's a group that they really need to get on their side.
I know a lot of doctors, and I can speak from mine, who I see, who are in their 50s and early 60s, are thinking about early retirement because now they're saying this is such a mess. It's so complicated. I can't take Medicare patients anymore. I can't take Medicaid patients. It's just not economically worthwhile for me. And to deal with this confusion and this chaos and this mess, it's just not worth it. When you have a shrinking pool of doctors, doesn't matter how many you recruit to actually sell it to their patients, you're not going to be able to treat. People are going to have less access, and it's already happening. All
right, Basil, we've already heard Monica isn't pitching Obamacare. You're the Democratic consultant here. Are you running out to the streets to sign people up like your president asks?
I absolutely am. I'll go on any radio show, anybody that'll have me, especially if you're a small business owner and you have this entrepreneurial spirit. This is a bill that's directed to you.
All right. You got the last word on the sales job there. Basil Smikle, Monica Crowley, thank you both.